Hi everyone, Miss Turdick here, and today we're going to focus on some track and field, and the skill we're going to be learning is ball put. Now if you're unfamiliar with ball put, we offer ball put at the school for kids in grades 4 and 5 as kind of like a warm-up activity to get them prepared for doing shot put in grades 6, 7, and 8. So since you probably don't have a shot put kicking around your house, if you are a grade 6, 7, or 8 student, I'm going to have you practice your technique doing the ball put. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. If you're a student who's in grade 1, 2, or 3, you can practice your skills at ball put so that when you get to grade 4, you're already going to know what you're doing. So I suggest doing ball put outside, either in your backyard or your front yard, making sure that you're far enough away from the road if you are doing it in your front yard, and if you're in your front yard or your backyard, making sure that there's lots of space between you and any windows or anything else that could break. You also want to make sure that you're in comfortable clothes, wearing running shoes that are tied up, and you want to make sure you've got a trusted adult who is supervising you as you're doing this activity. The materials that you're going to need are tea towels or large t-shirts for making your starting point. So I've tried to recreate something that resembles what we would see at track and field if we were having our event at Pauline Johnson. So I've made sort of like a semicircle shape with my tea towels. Now you could take 2 t-shirts, put them together and make the same sort of shape. I don't recommend using a skipping rope because they're difficult to see and you may get your foot caught in it, trip and fall. So try to get tea towels, other towels of some kind, or clothing. Okay, it makes a good starting point for you. Now you're also going to need to have a ball of some kind. So a couple of options for that. So if we were doing this at the school for the grade 4 and 5 kids, I use a softball, so just a standard softball. Okay, if you don't have a softball at home, any ball that's no bigger than this would work very well. For younger kids who are doing this, this might be a little big for the palm of their hand, may be difficult to get a grip of, so you can use the tennis ball for anyone with a smaller sized hand. If you don't have a ball, you may remember the activity feeling crabby, and I suggested taking socks, balling them together. Well, you can use those same balled up socks from feeling crabby for this activity. Or if you haven't done feeling crabby yet and you don't have a ball, hang on to your socks that you've made for ball put and then check out feeling crabby another day. So you're also going to need objects to mark the spot in the grass where the ball lands. Okay, it's not where the ball rolls to, it's where the ball initially lands when it makes contact with the ground. So you may want to have a trusted adult, or you may want to have a sibling keep an eye on that ball as you're doing the motion so that you know where it lands in the grass. Okay, so remember, it's not where it rolls. So I've just chosen bubbles and a garden glove to mark those spots. So again, make sure the objects you're choosing are heavy enough that they're not going to blow away should a big gust of wind come along if it's a windy day. If you have a tape measure, okay, you can measure the spot in the grass where the ball hits. Okay, and again, if you're a younger student, you may want to have a family member support you with taking the measurement, and it's a good learning experience for you to do that. You may want to have a pencil and a piece of paper handy so that you can record your results. Okay, so let's get started with the technique because there's a little bit of technique to it. Now, as I always say at the school when we're doing this, you need to pretend that the ball that we're using is very heavy, okay? So the shot puts are extremely heavy, and I want you to treat this ball with the respect that you would treat a very heavy ball, okay? So just to give you an idea, the shot puts range between 5 and 10 pounds depending on which age division you're in, okay? So they can be dangerous if they're not handled properly. So I teach everybody from the get-go to treat this ball as if it's very heavy, okay? So what you want to do, I'm going to demonstrate for right-handed people, and then I can just kind of go through the basics for a left-handed person, okay? So you're going to want to go to this side for a right-handed person such as myself. Okay, So what you want to do is you want to pick up the ball from the ground, okay? Hold the ball in your hands, and while you're getting your feet positioned, hold on to it with 2 hands, because if this was a shot put, you wouldn't want to lose grip of it and drop it, because it could definitely break a toe or a foot. Okay, your feet for this should be about hip width apart. Plant them in the ground. Now you want to be facing to your right if you're a right-handed person. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to tuck it tight to my neck in that spot between my earlobe and the top of my shoulder. Okay, I'm going to make sure that my arm is straight back with my elbow pointing directly behind me. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bend my knees, because all of my strength is going to be coming from these quad muscles that we've been working hard in some of the other activities to build strength in. This is where the strength and power is coming from. So knees bent. Then you're going to take your arm and you're going to position your arm straight out. Okay, that's going to give you a point to sort of focus your eyes upon. Now the thing we have to remember is this is a pushing motion, not a throw. So I want you to watch very carefully to see what my arm is doing as I'm competing in the ball put. Now, I can't go past my tea towels. So when I'm doing my motion, it's a shuffle, shuffle, push, okay? And I'm pushing out into the grass, okay? So all I need to do is hustle down, retrieve my ball. Now, if you're playing with a sibling, okay, hang on to the ball with 2 hands, and instead of throwing the ball at your sibling, you're going to pretend it's a shot put, and you're not going to pass it hand to hand. You're going to set it down on the ground for them. And I'm sure we can think of some of the horrible things that can happen if we're passing a shot put between 2 people. Somebody's not paying attention. Where's that shot put going to go? So with the ball, again, we're imagining that it's a shot put. So now let's demonstrate that one more time. Okay, so feet positioned in the grass, bending down with our knees bent to pick up the ball. Okay, if it's a shot put, you always want to bend your knees. You never want to pick it up without your knees bent, because you could injure your lower back. Okay, so again, taking that ball, tucking it tight to the space between our earlobe and our shoulder, right up against our neck. Okay, bending our knees. Okay, keeping our feet pointed towards the right if we're right-handed. Okay, elbow is pointed straight back behind us. Left arm is out in front, fingers pointed, eyes fixed on where you want that ball to go. It's a shuffle, shuffle, push. Okay, and we measure from where the ball first hits in the grass. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate for our left-handed people out there. I'll hustle down again, grab my ball, and this will be the left-handed demonstration. Okay, so this time I'm going to change directions. I'm setting the ball on the ground. Okay, so left-handed people, your feet are pointed towards the left. Same as the righties. You're going to bend your knees to pick it up. Okay, now you're going to put the ball in your left hand. You're going to fix that ball in the spot on your neck between your earlobe and your shoulder. Elbows pointed straight back. Bending the knees, right arm, this time is going to be out in front. Fingers pointed, eyes fixed, looking forward. Okay, and again, shuffle, shuffle, push. And it's that pushing motion. So it's almost like it's a punch. That's the way I kind of like to describe it. Okay, it's definitely not a throw. If you're competing with a sibling and one of you throws it, that doesn't count and you can't measure it. So be honest with yourself, honest with each other, and if you knew that you threw it, don't count it. Okay, you can always tell the difference between a throw and a push. The push isn't going to go as far. Okay, so measuring, we'll quickly talk about that. So as I said, you want to measure from your starting point. So I would take my tape measure and set it just right here at my towels, and maybe if you can zoom in on that so they can see. And then I'm going to stretch the tape measure to the spot in the grass where the ball first hits, not where it rolls to. Okay, so I hope you had lots of fun learning ball put. Practice about 5 to 8. If you're really enjoying it, practice a lot more. It is a great skill, and it's one of the most popular events in track and field at our school. Enjoy, take care, and stay safe.